What's going on, y'all?
How's it going? Welcome to another episode. We are very excited for this one today.
Super excited for this one. This
Little
one's
bit of
actually really dope.
Bit of a chilly morning,
Yeah,
but we're out
yeah.
here.
You see, got the bean covered up real
His
quick.
noggin
Yeah,
covered
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. Got to. Before we get started, you know
You
the
know
drill.
what time it is.
Go ahead, like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can stay in tune with what we got going on.
Yeah,
Today we're talking about toys
toys.
and toys that actually started in Chicago. It's the craziest thing. You found this
I
because
did. So I was literally watching a video on TikTok of this lady that likes to thrift, and so she was thrifting these vintage toys, and
Crazy.
she showed this like thing of like building blocks, and she was like, "Oh, this must be vintage because it says made in Chicago, and this company doesn't exist anymore." And I was like,
you said Google.
sleuth.
Let's see.
And so I did, and I went down this huge rabbit hole, and I was like, we got to do an episode on this. It looks really cool. I have never heard of this company before. I didn't even know this story, so
Yeah.
I'm sure most people might not. So
Let's
yeah.
let's get into it with it. Right now we are in 4114 North Ravenswood Avenue, and we're at the site of Halsam Toys. And if you don't know, Halsam Toys, let me go ahead and switch arms here. Your boy's arm is giving out. But Halsam Toys was a company that started right here in Chicago.
Yep.
They created all kind of toy bricks and
Right.
things like that. They had a little bit of controversy with the bricks that they were making, and I'll get into it in a second. But they made toys, and
Right.
where this building is right now, of course, not the original one, but this is where they were, and they made toys for kids. They were started by
Not toys for adults.
not toys, not
Different kind of toys.
different kind of toys. Who were they? You might ask. They were Hal Elliott and Sam Goss.
Yep.
And they put the first two names.
Yeah,
Actually,
they love to do that.
They love to do that.
Well, you'll hear in a little bit about how they would constantly use their names.
Yeah.
Parts of both their names
Yeah.
to make up names of things they were
yeah.
creating.
And the second part of the story is gonna blow your mind.
Yeah.
But they took Hal and Sam and they made Halsam Toys.
Yep.
And they really used embossed bricks and like to make like the Legos. They were safety
Not
bricks.
Legos.
Not Legos, but to make actual wooden blocks, like things like that. So and they had a wooden press company and things like that that they worked with. But they made the toys right here. We found a place that will show you the toys, but
Yeah.
let's walk a little bit further and we're gonna tell you, we're gonna get into it because it's crazy. So let's get it. So a little bit more context. Halsam Toys were started in 1917. The two were brother-in-law. Hal married Sam's sister, and her name was Hazel, so she was still HG. But it started in 1917, and they did all this kind of fun projects for kids and things like that. But then they decided, hey, look, we wanted to make not Legos, but Lincoln Logs. I keep saying
Not
Legos.
Lincoln Logs.
They wanted to make things like Lincoln Logs, but
Right.
that was a business that was already saturated
Right.
and it was already cracking, right?
And if you remember when we went to Belmont Cregan, we talked about Lincoln Logs, and
cracking, it was cracking. Anyway,
and it was wasn't the guy that made the Lincoln Logs? He was from Belmont Cregan,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
built the Lincoln
his son,
log.
right? Yeah, right, his son.
He built the log cabin.
Yeah.
And so they made the Lincoln Logs.
And so, Halsam was like, you know what, we got these wooden bricks. Let's go ahead and do it. They wanted to get into like that kind of Lincoln Log building process,
Yeah.
right? However, Lincoln Log and was like, nah, we don't know about this because they had the same kind of thing, the logs and stuff like that. And everybody else was kind of like, yeah, y'all probably shouldn't dabble in this because this is not y'all lane. That was already established heavily in America, thanks to right here, Belmont Cregan.
Right.
So what they did was they said, hey, we got this plastic printing press that we know. We're going to do interlocking blocks. What if we
Right.
did that? Would that work? And so they said, we think that might work. So let's go take a look at the rest of the story. It gets good. on our way to show you the next part of what we're going to show you. But the place we went to is the Claremont Collections Car Museum. It's the only automobile museum in Chicago.
Which is crazy.
And they have some amazing cars. The one that blew our mind, Richard Driehaus car collection.
Right, the entire collection is here on loan from the Driehaus Museum, which is the only place you can see it right now.
Yeah.
I don't know where they would put it after, but
I don't know. But check out this B-roll. It's some crazy stuff here. And we'll get back to the episode. But
yeah,
man, y'all got to come check this out.
it's so cool.
Yeah. All right, so once
we got sidetracked.
we got majorly sidetracked. Once you make it past Richard Driehaus's cars, you make it past Michael Jordan's car, you make it past the Batmobile and the Mystery Machine, then you want to end up right here at the Marshall Fields wing, and that's where the rest of the story goes. Because also, before I get into it, y'all stop by here. It's only
Yeah.
$15 a head to get up in here,
Or
man.
20?
$15. It's 43. I don't know with tax, whatever.
Yeah.
But come here, y'all. Just come on. It's decent up here. It's the Claremont Collections
With a K.
with a K, two Ks. And it's good. It's gonna be fun. But anyway, back to our story at hand. We're
Yep.
talking about Halsam. So Halsam decided to make those bricks and the logs and things like that. Interlocking logs. What they did was started another subsidiary company called Elgo, and it
Right.
was based off of their last names, Elliott and Goss.
Yep.
ELGO.
And it might sound very similar to something called Lego.
Yes.
But fun fact,
This
Elgo.
started first.
Yeah. So Elgo started ahead of it, and it literally looks like it could be Lego.
Yes.
It is. It has the little divots. Things go. That little hole goes.
Yes.
You get what I'm
we
saying.
get
Yeah.
what you're saying.
And so when they started that brand, Lego didn't start until a couple of years later.
A couple decades later.
Right.
You know, Lego, a Danish company, came over to America. And matter of fact, they had to ask Halsam if it was okay to use a name so similar to theirs.
Yeah.
Because Elgo, this was completely a coincidence also.
Coincidence, yeah.
It wasn't like they were playing. It was Elgo and Lego. And
But Lego is actually a word. It means something.
yes, it does. Lego does mean something. Elgo was just a combination of
Combination of
names.
the names. Yep.
We're here to see if we can see any toys, and where here is not the custom collections, Claremont Collections.
Yep.
You have to go to the How It's Made Museum or
Made in
Chicago Museum.
It's an exhibit inside of this huge museum.
Yes.
And so they have a ton of things that are made in Chicago. We actually have referenced their stuff multiple times. You'll see I'll post them on our Instagram and stuff like that. So this is the first time we've actually seen it in person. I've used their website as a resource before.
So we're going to go inside
Yeah.
and see if they got it.
Yeah.
Elgo. Or let's go. place is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's packed.
It's packed with a lot of stuff we've already talked about, which is even cooler.
Yeah, and so much we haven't yet, which is really cool because we got a ton of ideas.
Rabbit holes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But the star of this episode is Elgo. And you're probably like, they did not create the first Lego.
They did.
Well, actually, we can show you right here behind us. Let's look. Look, here we go. Let me.
You can even see it up there. Look at the top
Yeah,
of the
look. Here we go. And there's the brick right there, right at the top. Yeah, there we go. American Plastics and Bricks by Elgo. Now, the reason why they made them bricks in the first place is that was a way they can circumvent
There it is.
being logs.
Right.
So let's make bricks.
Right.
And they were plastic, kind of affordable.
Chicago was big on bricks.
Yeah.
We were the brick manufacturer of the world, so
why not?
not brick?
Why not make some bricks? So,
I don't know if that was the exact reasoning.
it's not
but
the exact reason, but
know.
it's a good story.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
You can tell it to people.
Yeah, and so that's how they made it. Now, to put a bow in the story, because we're going to keep on looking around here, Elgo was sold to, they were sold, I believe it was to Play School. So if you ever wonder why Play School has like the little big bricks,
Because
Elgo.
they bought Elgo.
And then they were sold by Milton Bradley, and then eventually Hasbro owns all the rights. Right. So that's the story from today.
Yeah.
But
that's all. So if you enjoyed this one, please share it with someone you love. And if you made it till the end, go ahead and leave us some brick
bricks.
some brick emojis.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word. And we'll see you next week.
Till next time.
Bye.
Peace.